Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Lowen Behold podcast. I am joined today by Ethan Weinstein, aka WizardsMuse,
Yo, what's up, Gibson?
and today we're going to be covering the draft lottery and the immediate reactions to that, as well as probably the state of the Wizards. We're both Wizards fans. I think that's obvious from your social media accounts.
Yeah.
Um, But anyway, so I'll go over the draft lottery results, and then we can talk about that from there. Obviously, Wizards get first overall pick, Jazz get second overall pick. But after that, the Memphis Grizzlies got third, Bulls get fourth, Clippers get fifth, which is the Pacers pick. The Nets get the sixth pick, Kings get the seventh pick, Hawks get eighth, Mavericks get ninth, Bucks get 10th, Warriors get 11th, Thunder get 12th, Heat get 13th, and the Charlotte Hornets are picking 14th. What are your immediate reactions to that outside of, obviously, we're getting AJ Dubé?
I think the Nets are one of the biggest losers, to be honest, just because they don't have their pick next year, and I don't know how they're going to get better. It's like MPJ is their star. They have the sixth pick, so I mean, you're kind of depending on a guy like Mikael Brown Jr. or Kingston Fleming's Keaton Wagler to, I don't know, take your team. What's even the goal? Like the playoffs? That's not realistic. So you're hoping you hit the 12 seed, and you still give the pick away. So there's not really an outline. I guess you're just hoping you can find a guy, but is anyone on the roster like that guy? I don't think you're thinking like Jaeger Demon is.
I do like Igor Demin. I think he has potential to be like Ben Simmons, but give away a little bit of that athleticism, replace it with a lot of that athleticism, and replace it with a jump shot. But
But
the
yeah,
problem is they're going to have to play him at the small forward because due to the fact that this is such a guard heavy draft, and I imagine they don't reach for Nate Ahmet at sixth.
they
They're
already
forced
took
to
a bunch
pick.
of guards last year too. Like
Yeah,
almost all of their draft was guards.
yeah, they picked four guards in the first round last
Yeah.
year, knowing that this was a guard heavy draft, and then now they're upset that they're going to have to pick another guard.
Yes, I guess you just pray like I don't even know what like the upside for Jaeger is. Like he'll be a cool player. I think he'll be a rotational player, but you're not looking at like a star. Nobody else on the team has star potential. So
Yeah,
if you're the Nets, where do you even go?
I think I really like him at that point guard position, but the issue is they're going to have to play him at the small forward, and he's just going to be like if he plays the three, he's going to end up just being an average three at the NBA level, and so I think ultimately they're going to fumble the development of Jaeger, and then just whoever they draft this year, it's probably going to be Acuff if we're going to be real. Um,
I
it's
don't think that's fair.
I don't see it working out for them. I think Brooklyn really got screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll work out, but at least A Cup is like a shot. Like if you
Yeah,
are reaching for a star and you're not in the top four, you have the offensive potential of A Cup where you're like maybe
yeah.
he can develop into something.
Yeah, the upside is any Coach Cal guard just magically turns out, so that's a plus for them. Outside of them, I think the biggest losers probably the Kings, falling to seventh when they have nothing. They have less than the Nets, and
They weren't even tanking.
and yeah, they're terrible. We're Wizards fans. We've never been this level of hopeless as the Kings are, and I say that with like all the love in the world. They just traded all of their youth and got nothing, and now it's like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess Ray Nod and Don Cardwell, I guess, are like they're cool.
yeah,
You know, maybe they become players.
they can be fun. They can be fun role players. They got Keegan Murray, who's regressed every year of his career.
He's like not even that good anymore. Like he can't shoot.
Yeah,
He was
no,
like a 42% shooter his rookie year.
I'm pretty sure they gave him like a max rookie extension too.
Oh yeah, no, he's getting it's at least like 20, 25 mil.
Yeah, I won't call the Pacers losers though because they traded that pick knowing that they were going to have a 50% chance of losing that pick. So
Yeah.
like that's kind of their own fault. Also, they just made the finals, so who cares? Um,
I actually didn't hate the statement made by Kevin Pritchard. Like
yeah,
I know there was some backlash, but like I want transparency out of my GM. Like
yeah,
if my
like
GM made a mistake, like if Will Dawkins made a mistake like that and he released a statement being like, "I'm sorry, we took the risk and it didn't work out," I'd be like, I like that transparency. Like I
yeah.
don't get why people are hating on.
I think they're just mad about the pick, losing the pick.
I
Because like
understand that.
that's he was fully open. Like yeah, we took a 50% chance
Yeah.
and we lost. Like our bad. Shouldn't have done that.
And if you get
Hindsight's
that,
2020.
and you get a top four pick and Zubac, like I understand the point of trying to make that trade.
Yeah, like that was a really good trade had they kept the pick.
Yeah.
That it was a 50% chance it was a fantastic trade, 50% chance it was a horrible trade, and they just lost the coin flip.
Yeah, unlucky.
Oh well. But anyway, moving on to what I think you really want to talk about. AJ Dabansa, Darren Peterson. Who would you pick at number one overall?
I'm gonna be honest, if you ask me this like a couple hours from now, my mind's gonna change. Like I've really been flipping on it. I think of course I'd probably lean AJ just because I mean those measurables yesterday were insane. 6'10"
Even
and two,
today,
pretty much
even
over
like
7 foot wingspan.
even today, like you can argue he's had the second best draft stock boost out of anybody in the draft
Yeah.
outside of I'm forgetting his name. Ade Mara probably had the biggest draft boost so far, but I think AJ is right behind him.
Yeah, and you could play that at the two or the three. And when you look at what Dawkins and Winger have talked about, they're like positional size. You want that's their thing, positional size. Almost everyone we've drafted, Bilal's been big, Keyshawn's been big, Sar's been big for a four. Bub
Oh, even
even
yeah,
you know,
Bub's
height
six
wise.
five for a point guard. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Trey at 6'6" isn't bad for a two. So AJ at 6'10" in shoes at a two or three. Like that's something that you're really gonna want. I think they're probably gonna lean him, but you get a almost 6'6" in shoes guard with a 6'10" wingspan. That's also something for success to look at Darren Peterson. I mean, you look at like Cade or Luca. Those have been guys that are big, and because of their size, they've been solid. If Darren
Yeah.
can use his size, I think a bit better, to be honest, at getting to the rim. That's something that Dawkins is going to be intrigued by. But yeah, I'd lean AJ. I think it would just make more sense for the fit of the team.
Yeah, I think AJ Debinsa is 1,000% the first overall pick. Like you said, 6'10" in shoes. He's got that 7 foot wingspan. He's 217 pounds as well. And then on top of that, his pro lane time came in at 11 seconds, which is above average for the entire NBA. So that's really damn good. And then he has a 42-inch vertical, max vertical, and 33 and a half inch standing vert. Like
I just think, come on.
that's insane for somebody his size to be that freakishly athletic. Like that's insane, and that's not even taking into account like his speed coming down the floor. That's just his that's mostly side to side movement and backwards movement in that pro lane. So like that's ridiculous. Like that's insane agility. So he projects to be an elite defender at the NBA level. Obviously, we didn't see that at college. So like I think he has the ability. Sorry, what was that?
I think he'll be like above average. I
Yeah,
don't know if he'll ever be elite, but if you can get an above
he
average or passable defender, that's okay.
he definitely has the size, strength, speed, and athleticism, and the quickness to be whatever level of defender that the Wizards force him to be. Um, because I think a lot of why he didn't show that at the college level is he hasn't quite figured it out on the defensive end. I think his timing was a little bit off, and you see that with his blocks numbers. And then on top of that, he was asked to carry a Herculean load on offense. And I tweeted that out earlier. I used that exact same phrase too. What but he was like the load he was asked to carry on offense was just so ridiculous. He was definitely north of like 43% usage rate. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head because I don't think Basketball Reference includes the usage rate and
Yeah.
and college players. But the ball went through him every single possession for BYU. Like so, I'm not surprised they kind of took a step back defensively. Um, but I think at the NBA level, where he's got other guys who can create, especially like Keyshawn George, Trey Young, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr, Trey Johnson, yeah, Bub Carrington to a certain extent. Like they'll take they'll take the load off of him on the offensive end to the point where I think he'll look 8 million times better defensively as a rookie than he did in college, even though he's against significantly better competition.
Yeah, I agree. Especially once Richie Saunders went down, it was kind of all defense or
Yeah.
like all offense he had to do. But I do think I don't think there's many two-way like true two-way elite stars in the league. Like when you're looking at Shea, he's good on defense. Aside from defensive playmaking, he's not elite. Like you don't try and have him on your best player. Same with Ant. And those are like labeled two-way guys. If we project AJ DeBonza to be like that guy that carries our offense when he's in his prime, averaging 27, 28, probably more to be honest, if we get the outcome that we want, where he's a 30 point per game scorer on good efficiency, I don't know if we'll be asking him to do that much defensively, but I do completely agree with you. I think he does have the tools to be great, especially I mean the measurables, the everything about him, like how he moves. He doesn't move normally for 6'10" and
No,
shoots.
he glides almost. It's
Yeah, no,
ridiculous.
it doesn't feel like he like actually runs. Like he just moves across the court.
Yeah.
But I do think that he'll be a very good defender on our team, considering if this young core does stay, we'll have Sar, we'll have Keyshawn, we'll have Bilal, who are all three very good defenders. So Bonza as third, fourth defender, or best defender on the team, that's going to be like a big plus. Like that is very good. Even if he's not a star defender, we're going to be able to also take the defensive load off of.
Yeah. And that's not even mentioning Justin Champagny or Jameer Watkins, who are both fantastic defensively in their own right.
Oh, especially on perimeter defense, I think they're going to be even more valuable next year. Especially Champagny, 'cause he's a player that like you want on a winning team. And even though we haven't been able to show him off, like next year when we're actually trying to win and compete, Champagny's going to be amazing.
He's one of those players where like you have him on a losing team and you're like, what's this guy even do? And then you see him on a winning team and you're like, oh my god, how is this guy not like the best player? And how is he not an all star? Uh,
Yeah,
like
it's so
reminds me a
crazy.
lot of like obviously reminds me a lot of his brother, where he does all the small things extremely well for the Spurs, or like not quite Lou Dort. He like lose a little bit of defense, add a little bit of shooting ability with Dort, but like that type of player where he just kind of fills in and does everything that a team could want.
Yeah, I mean, you just want players to do the little stuff, and like he's one of the best at that, to be honest, like in the East. Especially, I mean, rebounding, because Sar improved a lot. He's still not the best rebounder in the league, you know? So you have Champagne on the offensive glass. Like, he's like actually an elite rebounder considering his size. Like, I remember I was talking to someone on Twitter about that. Like, he's one of the best in the
Yeah,
league considering his size.
he's
I
like
mean, I
six
think that
foot
just helps so
six.
much in a playoff setting, you know?
He's 6'6" and gets whatever rebound he wants. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know how that's real. And he can shoot to an extent.
Yeah, he is a solid shooter. I'm not sure. I think he shot what 35, 36% on the season.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think Julian's better as a shooter, but like
Yeah, yeah,
if you if Justin's taking a three, like you're fine with it. You're
yeah. Then I think he had the best dunk of the season for per dunk rating too, which is
yeah, I'm
insane.
pretty sure it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
he gets posters. So does
yeah,
Jameer.
it's weird. He'll pull up from three and he'll have like a super quiet game and then have like the best dunk you've ever seen in your life. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Um,
I hope both of them are in the rotation next year, even if it's like for Watkins in spurts, because I don't know if he'll be
Yeah,
permanently in it.
I don't know if Watkins is gonna break that rotation. We got seven guys that are trying
Yeah,
to fight for the 2 and 3 minutes. That's not even including Bub Carrington, who's a shooting guard, or Justin Champagny, who I think will be playing a lot of minutes at the four this year. That's not including either one of them. So I don't, and or Cam Whitmore even, because that's based on the assumption that Whitmore probably gets waived going ahead of the season. Like
I
that's
would have Watkins over him in the rotation. I don't think they will, but like I think Watkins would help more to winning. You
yeah.
know?
I don't think Whitmore plays for the Wizards next season at all. I think he's
Yeah,
done.
I wonder if he
We
like
can
actual conversation. I wonder if he's in the league, like how much he's in the league next year.
I could see it's like a team early in a rebuild, or like trying to find another a big name, like taking a flyer on him.
I could see the Nets going for him.
Yeah, like if they're able to find a suitor for MPJ. But we can loop back around to that. I got another question with the draft before we move on to the Wizards solely. With that first overall pick, would you move back? Would you trade
No,
down?
No, unless you're fully convinced Darren is the best player and that the Jazz are going to take AJ, I wouldn't. And I don't think it's, I really don't even think the gap is that big to say one of them is like definitively better, to be honest. At least like leagues better. But I don't think you do. Is okay, some of these trade rumors I'm seeing suck too. Like it'll be like the sixth pick and we trade like AD and Trey and the first pick away. Like that doesn't even make sense. And we'll get Lori. Like that was one of the exact trades I saw. But no, the only way I would trade down is if you go to the Jazz and you definitively think that Darren Peterson is the best player. And I don't think that's what Dawkins and Winger think, so I really want to trade down.
Yeah, I've seen the Jazz are interested, and I've seen the Nets those are the two teams that are like really in on it because they kind of need it.
I'm sure the
Um,
Nets want it.
yeah, the Nets absolutely want it, but the Nets are involved in every trade somehow and walk away with nothing all the time. So it's like, um,
I mean, I'm sure they really are interested in the first pick. I just don't think they'll get it, you know?
yeah, the my only question would be like, what would it take for them to even consider a trade? Like I know I jokingly told somebody that I wanted Keontae George and the second overall pick as and a future first round pick as like a starting price, and I did not get a response to that one by the way. But like to me like I would want like ridiculous value because AJ DeBanza has such a high ceiling. It's like I don't know what it would take to be like, yeah, sure, we'll trade this pick, especially to the Nets. Like, what do the Nets
No,
have?
nothing the Nets.
Like,
The only team that could do it realistically is the Jazz, I think.
yeah, maybe I could see the Grizzlies putting together an offer, but to me, like, I would want Edie. I would want Edie in that as well. Like,
But
I
yeah,
would want Edie,
I
and I
want
would want
Edie, Howard, and like really like picks too, because the
yeah,
third pick is such a drop.
yeah. Because I do really like Cameron Boozer. I think Cameron Boozer is incredibly underrated, and I think a lot of people are overthinking him. Because realistically, he's bigger, stronger, faster than Al Horford, and I think he comes in at the same size as Kevin Love, but is faster. So it's like those are two guys who have had All Star level success in the NBA. Like I think Kim Boozer will be fine,
I think
but
Boozer has the highest floor out of anyone, to be honest. Like I
yeah,
don't see a
absolutely,
world
and
where he's
also
not a
like
top 30 player.
yeah, and I think he has. I think he has potential to be really interesting. I think his ceiling is around like Cavs Kevin Love, but like with better, like a little bit faster, a little bit stronger.
More
Like
creation too, like
yeah,
self creation.
yeah. Although I think Cavs Kevin Love definitely gave up a lot to LeBron and Kyrie. I think he
Definitely.
definitely took. I think he had the ability to create for his own, especially since he did it in Minnesota. He just took a massive step back. But like that's still an all star caliber. That's still an all star caliber player. Um, and also like the fit with him on Washington is the cleanest of anybody in the draft because he's got the size. He's got his immediate strengths is rebounding and defense. That fits almost perfectly next, and he can space the floor. He can create. He's quick enough to take advantage of slower defenders. That that fits next to Sar extremely cleanly. I don't know about the rest of the roster, but his fit next to Sar and Keyshawn is obvious and really clear to me. And those are the two players that really matter long term. So like I like it, but also at the same time, like I don't know if Memphis is interested in moving up. I don't know if Dawkins is interested in moving back. I think the positional size, like you mentioned earlier, just overwhelmingly is like his big thing, and Dybance is far and away the best prospect for that.
I think if you also get the first pick, especially for a team like the Wizards, like this is a selling point to fans. You know, we've been like a joke around the league, around many fans.
Yeah,
Even like if you're around the area, if you're a Wizards fan, not many people from here are Wizards fans. Like they will like laugh at you for being a Wizards fan. So this is a chance now, especially you got Trey and AD, Sar and Keyshawn are like legit players, and you have guys on the bench, Will Riley, especially Trey, Bilal, who could turn into pretty solid guys.
yeah,
And you're looking like this is a new era of the Wizards. This is a time where it's like you don't have to be embarrassed to be a Wizards fan. Like you can actually be proud, and we're supposed to be good, which it's still crazy to me. Like I was a child the last time we were actually good, but like and you have the first pick to build around that, and you're trying to get fans from the area back. I don't think you move down, to be honest. Even not just from a team building perspective, but from like a fan perspective and an era defining perspective. This is the first pick. This is who you're going to build around. This is who's going to be the face of your franchise, and you ride or die with this guy. And I think if you trade down to 2 or 3, it kind of changes that whole motive, especially if you trade down to 3. Because I don't
Yeah.
think the fan base, even though Cam Boozer is great, I don't think the fan base gets behind him like they do AJ or even like they do Darren.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna compare the two, but I could definitely see them like marketing AJ Dibansa in a similar way to the way they marketed John Wall back in
Oh,
the day,
definitely.
like where John Wall like brought in all this hope and he was just so ridiculously popular. Like his popularity even I think surpassed like his level as a player because he don't get me wrong, great player, not a Hall of Famer, unfortunately, but if he stayed healthy, probably. Like he was fantastic, but I think his popularity eventually did surpass that, just because he was so likable. He was a great guy, gave back to the DMV, and he was that number one overall pick, and he was the face of the franchise, like you said. So I could see like,
Loved like that. And as a wizard, like league round is crazy too.
yeah,
Everybody loves John Wall. Everybody knows who he is, and like he was on the Wizards.
yeah, and it's I know we've had the debate in the group chat we're in about whether or not to retire his jersey number, but yeah, that you have to. In my opinion, you have to at this point.
But yeah, definitely.
Like at 1,000%, especially after that lottery spin on Sunday, like being there, like yeah, that put his number in the rafters. But
And it
like,
seems like the franchise is cool with him too. Like I know him and Leonsis weren't too chill, but like they brought him
yeah,
on to do Monumental. Now they're marketing him. They had a like ceremony for him earlier
yeah.
this season. Like they mess with him again. I don't see the reason to not retire his number at this point.
I wonder how much of that though was like him being salty about being traded, because he like. I think we've both seen the clip from his podcast where I think he called Tommy a snake or Bradley Beal, and he was like calling them out for like telling them, yeah, we want to keep you around, we want to keep you here, you're our guy, and then like a week later traded him, and he found out from Russell Westbrook as well, which is insane. Uh, those two were traded for each other, but just, like that's insane person to find out from, I guess.
I mean, I understand being salty about that too. Like he had been here for a decade. He
Yeah,
was DC basketball, and you get traded like randomly, and
yeah, like
your co-star who had been with you for almost a decade snaked you out. The owner who I probably grew close with snaked you out. Like that is
yeah,
kind of dirty.
and he was really the face of the franchise post Wes Unseld retiring. Everything after, I think he retired in 1979. Everything after that, John Wall's far and away the best player we've had in
But
that
yeah,
time
it's
frame.
him and Gil, and the way
No,
that Gil's tenure ended, you don't want to market him as the best player. So like
no,
it's kind of
no.
just John Wall.
Yeah, it's John Wall. Uh, but yeah, moving on with the current state of the Wizards, the current roster. How do you feel the Wizards should approach this upcoming free agency? Any like what trades would you look into? What free agents would you chase if you were in Will Dawkins' shoes?
I still think, even though I mean we got the first pick, you're trying to make the playoffs now. Like that's the goal. But I still think you try and do move with the youth. Like you build around the youth. If you can, I think you really try and get a backup big because I don't believe Vucevic. I mean, his defensive playmaking, if it can move like it did the last 20 games, maybe he can be a rotational player. But with AD, you know how AD is, he's pretty injury prone. Sar, I still am not like fully convinced on his health. Like he's played like 60 games both seasons, which I think he could have played more. But I don't think he'll ever be a guy that plays like 70, 75 games a year, which is okay because he's a 7 footer. So I think you really do try and get another backup big because you do need the size, especially with the rebounding. Hopefully, I mean, Mitchell Robinson is my dream guy. I think he's so good. He's so good. Even with the
Outside of
off the
clutch
court,
minutes.
even like he, I'm not sure what's going on with him. You know, some of the time, but like if he can produce on the basketball court, do all the TikTok lives or post whatever on like your Instagram story you want. If you can defend the rim like that, so if we could get him, I would love him. I'm a UVA fan, so I'm biased, but I think we should target Gunna. I might be saying his name wrong, but Onyensu in the draft, he's so good. He reminds me of Jay Huff, to be honest. Not as much shooting and doesn't move as fluidly, but a much better defender. And Jay Huff was a guy that coming out of college should have been obvious to be an NBA player. Like great 3-and-D player, could protect the rim, could move well at 7 foot. Onyensu is similar to that, and he's a much better shot blocker, a better defender in my opinion. Even if it takes a couple years, I think even if he's undrafted free agent, you try and get him. And then I do think you try and get another creator, like point guard. Maybe Will Riley might not be ready for that role, to be honest. That's who I'd prefer to have there. I know they're probably going to put Bub there, but who knows how that'll go. So you probably want to try and get another point guard if it's younger.
Yeah.
Maybe D'Anthony Melton, even though he's old, just on like an MLE for like a year or two. But I don't think you make any substantial moves, to be honest. You're already getting that with AJ, and you don't really need to move off many of the guys on the young core. And it looks like Anthony Davis will be here for at least a half a year or a year.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't think they should do anything crazy. And I actually wouldn't even be surprised if they just draft AJ Dabansa and just call it good for the summer. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Um, the Sorry, there's construction going downstairs. The I wouldn't be surprised if they just say we've got our young core. We want to see what these guys can do on their own, and just kind of let them do their thing. And then at the deadline, maybe try and make some moves to improve the roster. But I wouldn't push to be as good as possible right now. I would give it another year, and then like a year from now, start consolidating talent, move guys around, or move two players to get one better player, or like and start making free agency moves. But yeah, I do think if they do anything, it would be a backup point guard, backup center. You mentioned Mitchell Robinson. I really like him. I like Ade Mara out of Michigan. Although
I don't think he'll drop at this point.
I think he's gonna fly up based purely on his measurements and that March Madness performance. I think I've seen some people even say he's gonna go top 10, which I think is really high for him. I think late lottery, maybe like late teens seems realistic for him.
There
But
was a Hawks fan in Wanzo's space yesterday that was saying that they want him at, well, they have 8, right?
yeah,
Yeah, they want him at 8.
I mean, the Hawks do desperately need size.
Just
I
like the
could,
fact that he's being considered with the 8th pick
yeah,
shows
yeah.
something.
So I don't think that's realistic for us anymore. I think it would have been had he not measured in at 7'3" with a 7'4" wingspan, uh, and a 9'9" standing reach.
Yeah.
But other guys I like Robert Williams as an option. Al Horford could be somebody we consider. Maybe not. Um, I know he's really old, but he's been to multiple. He's been to the playoffs just about his entire career until he
He's a
signed
vet.
with Golden State. He's been he's a champion. I really like him as a vet for Sar because he's that 3-and-D rebounding center that we want Sar to become. Although Sar could probably be a little bit better than Horford, probably should be better than Horford.
Yeah.
Um, but Horford's skills I really like as like a mentor for Alex Sar. Then like for point guards, you mentioned I really like D'Anthony Melton, like you mentioned. I also really like I'm forgetting his name now. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a reunion with Tyus Jones, but if Dennis Schroeder gets
No.
if Dennis Schroeder ends up a free agent somehow, some way, if he's involved in like
Yeah.
that rumored Giannis trade the Cavs might be making, because I've seen the Cavs connected to them again if they lose this series to Detroit. I've seen like if Schroeder's involved there, I could see Schroeder getting waived, and then Schroeder would be really really good as a backup to Trey. Then you could run three different lineups where you can run three different types of point guard play. Trey Young, who does a little bit of everything offensively, nothing defensively. Bob Carrington, who's great shooter, decent defender. I'll give him a little bit there just due to his size. He's not great, not as bad as Trey. He's okay. And then Dennis Schroeder, who's great defender, can't shoot worth a crap, but gets to the rim at an insane rate.
Yeah, I mean Schroeder just wins. Like I feel like
Yeah,
anywhere he goes in the playoffs, he's always having a positive impact. Even if like the stuff he does on the court isn't insane, like he wins. He's a winner. He gives
yeah.
impact. That's what you want on a team, especially if you're a backup point guard playing on 15 minutes a game in the playoffs. I'd love him on the team to be honest. I didn't even know he was a free agent.
He's not, but
Uh,
he's on a deal. But if he gets like if he's included in a trade alongside like Evan Mobley for Giannis, which is rumored at the moment,
yeah.
then I'd imagine Milwaukee would buy him out or at least try and flip him. I could see the Wizards trying to trade for him, but his contract's a little on the larger side, so I'm not sure.
We
I'm
have the
not
cap.
100% behind it, but he's really great at getting 2 feet in the paint. He's great at finding shooters in the corner. He's an okay enough 3-point shooter that you have to respect it at time. You have to respect it if he makes one, and then he's just a fantastic perimeter defender, point of attack defender. Like that's what he does, and those three things lead to wins.
And among our guards, both Treys aren't great defenders. I actually think Trey Johnson's underrated in that point as a POA defender.
I think
But
he can be better. I think he needs to put on some. I think he needs to put on some bulk.
yeah, definitely. I've also said this. He's one of the worst. Like coming out the draft, he was one of the worst screen navigators I've ever seen. Like if he's around, if he gets put in a pick and roll, he's getting tossed 10 feet to the side. But like, I mean, out of all problems, that I feel like that's easier to solve. I feel like he also improved on that this season. But Will Riley's also not a great defender. He probably has the length to be able to improve on that and become positive. But just for next season, I think Schroeder would be really useful because he would be one of our best guard defenders.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is also a free agent.
I love him though.
Just had a fantastic series in the first round for the Lakers. Probably earned him another 5 million, $10 million per year on just from that series alone. But I wouldn't be against a reunion with Marcus Smart either. Like that seems perfect almost.
His month here was pretty fun. I mean, I
Yeah,
know it was like 10 games, but I mean, it was a fun
yeah.
10 games.
Granted, he was injured to end his time as a Wizard. I think going back to something you said earlier about games played for some of the young guys and not being 100% sold that they'll be able to play a ton of minutes. I think a lot of them sat for like
Definitely, especially
nothing
this.
burger injuries. Because like Sar, you said like you said he put up 60 games in both of his first 2 seasons. He was sitting down with a sprained toe for
But you
like
know,
a
Sark could
month.
have played way more. They were trying to be cautious going into the season too. 'Cause he
Yeah,
was like, it was him and Bilal was also injured. They both
yeah.
could have
They've
played open day.
Yeah, granted, Bilal had like a broken thumb in playing international play in France because he was shooting like 40% from three.
I remember I was like, oh,
Yeah,
we got the Bilal shooting
and then
jump.
we were
Like he's
like,
starting now.
then we were
Yeah.
like, holy crap, what's going on? And like he started off the season really cold, and then like around December he starts like improving every single month, and like the last month of the season he was shooting 40%. So like
Yeah, by like February, March, April, he was like 38%.
yeah, his last after the All Star break he's shooting 36% from three. Like that's insane.
You don't even need that. Just give me like 33, 34%, and that's like a
Respectable.
rotational guy.
Yeah, but no, I think they were being extremely cautious with any injury. Like anything that could make you questionable for one game, you were sitting for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 games,
Definitely.
maybe even longer than that. Again, sprained toe kept Alex Sarr out for like a month. Anthony Davis was probably good to go a month left in the season. Like they,
To be fair, they were saying it was like some finger thing that they had never heard of. Like doctors were saying like this is like some new type of thing.
I think I think they just kind of said that to a certain extent just to get the league to not investigate them because they were definitely holding out healthy guys.
Okay,
Um,
with Anthony Davis though, like I feel like he can
that
just hold
yeah
it.
yeah,
You're like, yeah, let him go.
but no, that I think a lot of the guys who really have never played more than like 60, 65 games so far for the Wizards. I think we're gonna get a lot more games played out of them. I think the Wizards are gonna be like, okay, fine, you can play starting this season, and we'll just see what happens, I guess. But kind of moving on, based on what all we have, and the fact that we've had 14 guys on the roster this season, already back in the gym as of this morning. Um, what? How do you see the Wizards moving forward with the young core they already have, adding AJ Dabansa, potentially adding somebody else through the draft? Depends on what they do with those other two draft picks. If they trade them, move up, who knows? Like, what do you see? How do you see the Wizards like moving forward?
I mean, within the next 2 years, you kind of have to trade some of the young guys. Like, not all of them can physically stay. That it doesn't make sense contractually. I think Sar and Keyshawn are the two that are kind of guaranteed to be here, and whoever the first pick is, AJ, Darren, or Cam, who knows. But those three are kind of they're going to be here. Bilal's soon. Like his contract, I'm pretty sure we haven't signed like the extension yet.
He's
But
he's extension. He becomes extension eligible this summer. This the
yeah,
first time he'll be eligible.
you kind of have to make a decision on him soon. And then, I mean, Trey and Will Riley, they're still so young. Bub, who knows what's going to happen with Bub? Because, I mean, he's going to have a good year to probably stay. But I think it's nice that you have your three kind of guys that, they are the building pieces of this team in the first pick, Sar and Keyshawn. And then you just have flyers. Like, Champagne's going to be a guy. He's also young, too. He's only like 24. Like, this is like a young guy, and we got him on a cheap contract. So I mean, he's gonna stay. Between like Trey, Will Riley, Bilal, Bub, whoever we draft, or not with the first pick, but if we pick someone else up young, Watkins, like a couple of those are gonna work out. A couple of those are gonna be rotational players, and then you probably have like six rotational players of all young players, and then you have AD, you have Trey. So I mean, you're looking at a team that even if AD doesn't stay or Trey isn't a long-term piece, you can trade those for two rotational guys that are both young. So it looks like we could have eight or nine guys that are rotational players. So even though it's not like the most normal thinking, that makes me feel really confident about it because I think you do have the core for the team and you have some of the role players that are needed to win. So like you have a winning formula. This is the first time really since I was like a kid that I have faith that we can actually compete for a championship in the future.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think it's one of the best times to be a Wizards fan in so long. 'Cause, like you can actually see the vision of the
Yeah,
team, even if these aren't long term pieces, not all of them. Like you can actually see that. Wow, in 5 years, this team could compete for a championship.
yeah, and kind of a similar thought. You mentioned you weren't sure if he worked out. Like if he does figure it out and he's able to learn from Trey how to get 2 feet in the paint and how to find guys on the perimeter from that point. Like he's already an elite shooter. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the game. He's a good three-point shooter. I believe he's sitting around 38-40% for his career.
He's really good.
Like if as a shooter he's fantastic. The only reason why he's not like a main like yeah, we're keeping him is he just can't get into the paint. So like to me, like if Bub can learn from Trae Young, who is also kind of not the most athletic point guard in the world. Trae Young's not the fastest, not the strongest. Trae Young's even 6'1", super small for a guard, and that's
One is generous too.
yeah, that might be a little generous. Whereas Bub's 6'5", barefoot. Like if Bub can learn from Trae how to take advantage of angles and how to use his handles to get into the paint because he's got good handles too. If he can learn from Trey how to get into the paint and he's I'll even go so far as to say he's good at the rim when he gets there too, or at least decent. He's good enough to the point where like he can create out of it. It's just the fact that he doesn't get there often enough to really be a threat. So if he can learn that, then I think we have our starting five of the future already on the roster with Bub, Bilal, AJ, Keyshawn, and Sar. Because I think Bilal, is going to figure it out as a shooter. I really like what we've seen post All-Star break. And as long as he stays healthy, like he's one of if not the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, which that alone is extremely valuable. And if he can figure out his jump shot, he's good enough of an athlete that he can pump fake drive out of it and be a legit threat. He's not a great finisher at the rim. He's actually really bad for a player his size, athleticism, when it comes to finishing around the rim. But like he can put that pressure on players, and then he's fantastic playmaker in the full court. He's a ridiculous athlete. Like I've seen people call him like a Thompson triplet. Like he's kind of in that same vein, not quite the same level of player as those two because those two are bigger, stronger, faster. But like that perimeter defense, absolutely on that caliber.
He got a vote for in the athletics poll for best defender.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal defensive player. It's just the only reason why he's not like again like one of those main guys. The offense is so bad. Like if he can just kind of halfway figure it out, like he's guaranteed long term, right?
Yeah, and even if it's not those two, both the sophomores, Will Riley and Trey Johnson.
Yeah,
I'm so high on Will Riley. I was wrong on him because I wasn't high on him coming out the draft. The first couple months looked rough. His creation and just he has so many counters. Like no matter what happens, he's still able to get to the rim,
yeah,
get his shot off, and get like an efficient shot. He had kind of the same like mid-season shooting development where he was a good shooter in college, kind of started the year off not shooting well, and then was amazing to end the year like
absolutely.
Keyshawn. His defense isn't great, but he's a better playmaker. He's a better athlete. He's like
Yeah,
six
he's
nine and he can
yeah.
play the two.
I think it was according to the Wizards coaching staff and Will Riley himself, he's grown to 6'10",
But yeah,
which
yeah, that's
is
ridiculous.
and for a player who is capable of playing the point guard, he's maybe not the best playmaker, maybe not a great, maybe not even. He hasn't really done too much playmaking, but he's a really good secondary ball handler at bare minimum, and he can score at all four levels.
Yeah,
Like he's a tremendous player offensively. It's just I think he needs to bulk up as well. I think
definitely.
I think that's an issue that is consistent across the Wizards roster. Is everybody's just too freaking thin.
They've done a good job at it though. Like
Yeah,
especially after their rookie year, it was like Sar put on 18 pounds, Keeson put on like 10, 15. I mean, you see Keeson pushing guys
yeah. I
around now.
think I
Even
think
Bilal's put on weight. Bubs put on. No, I don't think
AJ
Bubs.
Johnson even put on a ridiculous amount of weight. I know
Yeah,
you're a big AJ Johnson guy,
yeah,
uh, but he put on like I want to say he put on like 16 pounds of muscle
yeah.
between the end of the season and then the start of summer league, which is not that long of a period of time.
He got up to like around 170.
Yeah, I think he was listed 174 going into summer league, which
And he was
again,
the lightest player in the league by far before
yeah,
that.
he was 160 during the regular season. I think he was 160 when he got to the Wizards, and he
Yeah, and you
was
could see that he would have some
174.
poster dunk and then be trying to flex. Not
Yeah,
much there.
no, he was way too small. He needs to put on like another like 20, 30
So,
pounds
in another
just to be a
life, we're
rotation guy.
MVP. In another life, we're MVP, man. I
Yeah,
still love. I'll support him wherever he goes.
he's one of the fastest guys in the league at 6'5". If he's able to put on that muscle and make that jump shot consistently, he'll be a rotation player. But like
Yeah,
he's
I'm hoping. I'll support him whatever league he ends
I,
up in.
I met him at a game in Detroit, and
Actually,
yeah,
oh,
I
he's
got I
so
got I got an autograph from him too.
really
Yeah, I got
no.
Vuk, AJ, Anthony Gill, and Sadiq Bey,
I'm
uh,
jealous.
all on that one Wizards chain. It's the chain of mid autographs.
Yeah,
Um,
still on AJ.
but
I got an
my
autograph too.
favorite part about him is he had like the anime hair, which I absolutely loved. Like he seems like such a good guy.
Oh,
I want the best for him. I hope he figures it out in Dallas. I think he'd be really fun next to Cooper Flag if he reaches that ceiling. But he just there was no shot he was going to reach that in Washington. Just with
oh
how
no, it was too packed.
yeah how full that wing rotation was even before getting the number one overall pick, where the only two options are wings like that. There was no shot he was going to break that rotation.
Yeah, I do think though, like about Will Riley, I think his processing is good enough where he'll be like a really good playmaker
Yeah,
in the future. Like processing is amazing. He's able to find counters. He understands angles extremely well for a rookie. Like
Yeah,
I've said this was before he got the first pick, but Will Riley genuinely has the highest offensive potential of anyone on the team,
yeah,
aside from
absolutely.
whoever's the first pick.
Yeah,
Like I could see him
yeah,
becoming a 22 and 8 assist guy. Like if he reaches his full potential, of course, which
yeah,
unlikely, but high end outcome, he's an all-star.
yeah. And even looking at the roster as a whole, even just not even taking into account like player development, like even if we have a few guys where if they just stayed the same and did not and just did what they did this season alone, I think we still have a really solid foundation because like
Yeah,
Keyshawn George, like a 16-5-5 guy on elite efficiency and elite defense. Like yeah, any contender would take that. Like
yeah. I
that
really think all Keyshawn needs to do is like get a tighter handle and be
yeah.
like have less turnovers. And he's a very, very good player that could
I
start
think
on any team.
he's still only 22. I think the game's still slowing down for him a little bit. So like as that handle tightens up, as he refines that jumper more and more, and as he like sees the game better and better, he'll that's all he really needs in order to be like a fringe all star almost.
No,
If
yeah.
on a really good team, um, like he's really good. And then like Alex Sarr, all he really needs is in order to be a fringe star is a point guard and then like another like 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle. Because like again, he's getting bullied by the Jalen Durans, Donovan Klingons of the world. It's really annoying watching Donovan Klingon kind of beat up on him because Donovan Klingon's not better than Sarr, but because he's able to beat up on Sarr, we have to hear it from Trailblazers fans, who we already hear it from because they got Denny.
I actually don't think Klingon's that bad. Like
I think Klingon's good.
honestly, I don't think Klingon and Sar are like insanely far apart.
No, I think Sarr is objectively better, but also at the same time, I don't think the gap is ridiculously wide either because Klingon is fun. He's fun. He's good in transition. He has a nice little hook, a nice little post hook that he can go to regularly, and he's working on that on expanding that range. Obviously, he kind of crapped the bed against the Spurs on that front, but also like you're being guarded by Wemby.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really like judge much. Like you played Wemby in your first playoff series.
Yeah, like you're not doing anything. Like we
Yeah.
saw like even like Gobert and Nas Reed who are both fantastic players in their own right. Like obviously Gobert is not great offensively, but Nas Reed is. Neither one of them have really done much, if anything,
Yeah.
against Wemby. Although Gobert definitely did rebound really well in that game four. Although he did have an elbow or two hands on Wemby's back at all times. But he still had a great impact, and he slowed Wemby enough to the point where it's a competitive series.
I
And
mean,
like
Gobert is one of the. I love Gobert. I think
one of the greatest defenders of all time, point blank.
definitely.
Like
I never understood the hate.
I think a lot of the hate is he's just kind of like I think he just says and does some things that are just really rub people the wrong way.
Yeah,
Especially
he's like a
like
goofy guy.
the whole COVID thing was bad, and then like later, him and Bilal had the book that they were really into, where it just kind
I
of was
forgot
like,
about that.
yeah,
Wow.
everybody forgets about the book.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's kind of like you're kind of reading like passages, and you're like, oh, this is really uncomfy.
Yeah, I mean, for Rudy, it's so much worse.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
you're like a 35-year-old man. Like, for no excusing it for Bilal, like, that is terrible. For Bilal to be even reading that is disgusting.
yeah, like
But
that's
Bilal's
just
like
rough.
20. Like, Rudy, you were like 35, and you're like,
Yeah,
we
it's
was talking
like,
about like
what are you
teenage.
doing? But then like with and then further with Rudy, he got a lot of the blame and when Utah would have series where they would just look really bad defensively because they just had four net negative
I'd be like,
perimeter defenders on the floor,
Bogey's the
and then
main
they were
PLA
like
defender.
they were asking Rudy Gobert to essentially do what Alex Sarr did for the Wizards this season, but like better and against like Jokic,
Yeah,
and
against like
it's like
Luka.
yeah, it's that's not gonna work out very well. And so he got a lot of blame for that. And then the Timberwolves overpaid for him, and then he just has the worst hands in the league. Like there's something with French centers and not being able to catch lobs. Um,
Yeah, Sar, one of the improvements I've said I want him like on a football wide receiving machine. Like those jug machines, spend like an hour a day on that, and he'll get like so much better.
just
He'll
find a
get
way
like
to
more.
find a way to get him in a room with like Amon Ra St. Brown. Like get those two in
Oh
a room
yeah,
together. Like because I know Amon Ra is like my dad's a Lions fan. I know Amon Ra is like insane. Like he'll like I don't think he does anything in his free time other than like hands
I would
drills
not.
and like
Seems like
because he
men.
just doesn't drop anything either. Like it's insane. Like
Hey, we're local. It can be fun. Get like Terry in there. Like,
that's fair. Yeah, I could
yeah.
get Terry. Yeah, we love Terry. But yeah, like I think the biggest development though I've seen from the Wizards, just completely changing subjects from what I was talking about 30 seconds ago. I think the biggest development I saw all season was like one, Bub got into the paint at the end of the season, which was like, oh my god, what's happening? And then two,
Yeah.
Trey Johnson, I think he realized his jumper just wasn't falling anymore, which I don't know what's up with that, but he started attacking the paint, and he doesn't quite have the muscle to be a paint threat just yet. But that floater went from like a non-weapon at the beginning of the season to like, holy crap, that's lethal at the end of the season. Like the growth in just that alone, not even like not even just Trey as a player, like that floater alone gives me so much confidence that he'll become something offensively, just because that grew so tremendously. And I know he's got that jumper. The percentage doesn't show it, but he's got it. I don't know why it wasn't falling at the end of the season. Like beginning of the season, he had a hip injury. Like beginning of the season, he had that hip injury. End of the season, I don't know, like if it was like a confidence thing or if it was
I'm
like,
pretty sure like it was lingering. Like
yeah,
he's still going through it a bit because he was on a minutes restriction all year. And
yeah,
then anytime he did do good, we would just pull him out. It's
yeah,
like it looks
which
worse than
was
it really
blatant
was.
tanking. Like, let's be real. But
It's the NBA. Who cares?
Adam Silver and the gambling companies do.
Okay, well. Oh well, they already fixed it. Too late. We got the first pick.
Fixed. Uh,
Yeah, no, I'm fixed. Like it's a terrible move, by the way. I don't think it'll work.
that draft lottery is horrible. I'm so glad we don't have to worry about that ever.
Hey, even if
Not
we
ever
are
again, but
disappointed next year, we'll win like 35 games and have like
we'll
the
have
best
this. We'll
odds.
have better odds than whoever the worst team is if we completely fall flat.
Yeah, I
Like
mean we can make the play and we'll have as good of odds as like the Nets.
yeah, which is really depressing for the Nets. Imagine like imagine like we make the play in, lose the first game, so we get guaranteed ping pong ball, and then make the playoffs, and so we're a playoff team, and still end up with a higher pick than the freaking Nets. Like how heartbreak.
We
Like the amount of
first
times
we can win
that
the
tweet where they're
playoff.
like, we just lapped the Wizards rebuild in one offseason. Like, imagine how much that would just get absolutely blown up. Like, that would be almost as bad as the thank you Washington Wizards Reed Shepard tweet.
Nets fans don't even like that account too. Like anytime like I let quote or go under, people are like, "Oh yeah, we do not mess with him. Like don't quote him. Like none of the fan base likes him."
Yeah, no, I'm very worried about what's gonna happen to Brooklyn. Like obviously as a Wizards fan, like oh well, but like as like taking a step back, like just as an analyst of the NBA, it's like what's the plan here?
Yeah, I don't even like where do you go? Unless I guess the only hope is like drafting a cuff and then banking on the high end.
Yeah,
Wow, he's one of the best offensive players in the league. Maybe he can lead us.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I could see them trying to do kind of what they did with like that 2019 team where they moved decent role players for like late first, early seconds, and then like combined those to get better picks, which is how they got like Dinwiddie, Levert, Jared Allen, Claxton.
They don't even
Well,
have many guys to do that. Like you have Claxton, Clowney, and MPJ. Aside from that, who was catching a first on
yeah,
that?
especially since MPJ. openly admitted that he just didn't try in the second half of the season. Like
I think
that.
MPJ's
That's
value as like a player would like skyrocket if he just didn't ever like talk in like an interview.
they're just like take away the microphone, just shut up and don't talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at all one of those like shut up and dribble guys. Like voice your
No,
opinion, but like
no, like
sometimes with MPJ, like
he's
focus on the basketball side of things. Like it's okay.
he says some of the most off the wall things. Like some of the stuff he said in the off season, especially with like some of the hotel stuff, like that was ridiculous.
The
I won't go.
Jonte,
I won't. His vices. I won't go too into detail about some of the stuff he said because I'm trying to keep this like
no, I'm pretty sure I
friendly.
know what you're
But
talking about.
but
And, like,
like
that was ridiculous.
just says some things where it's like, dude,
Can't believe that came out of like a player's mouth, especially that's still active. Like, I can
active
understand if
players
you're
mouth.
like 50 and
Like,
you're talking about it. Like if Gilbert Arenas was talking about it, I wouldn't be
dude,
surprised. I'm like, you're still in the
no,
league.
Gilbert Arenas openly admitted to snitching on the guys that got arrested.
Actually,
Yeah, he openly admitted because he got arrested first. And
oh yeah, that's
then he's like, "I'll snitch. I'm not going to jail. Like, I'll rat all these guys out." And then like 2 months later, like three NBA guys get arrested. It's like, oh, that was Gil. Okay.
yeah.
Like I trust Draymond Green in front of a hot mic before I would trust Michael Porter Jr. or Gilbert Arenas. Like neither one of them should ever be in front of a microphone. And I know they both have podcasts, but it's like I trust Draymond Green infinitely more than either one of those guys. And I know Draymond's gonna go out there and say some wild stuff. Like I saw that Kevin Hart roast. Like he says some crazy things.
I don't know what he's. I don't even know what. Like I don't think I want to know what he said.
Yeah, no, he's yeah. I don't know that the Nets are just kind of they're just kind of stuck. They're gonna be in purgatory forever. The Bulls, I like the
Like
Bulls are another top four team. I like some of the pieces they have. Really hate the rest of the roster. They've got like 8,000 point guards, no center. Buzelis needs to put on another 30 pounds. Josh Giddey is fine, but
I
they
don't think
need.
he's a winning player. I mean, the dynasty started after.
Well, I think you can put a team. I think you can build a team with him, but the problem with him was they wanted they wanted to play five out offense and they wanted to play through SGA, which obviously play through SGA, but like Josh Giddey kind of has to be the point guard, has to be the facilitator. You can't have that when SGA is on the floor, and you can't play five out with Giddey because
Can you?
Giddey did improve as a 3 point shooter after getting traded, but you can't play five out. You couldn't play five out with him in OKC. He wasn't good enough defender to make up for the fact that he's taking away from SGA. He's taking away from their offense. Like he wasn't good enough uh, of a defender to make up for that either. So yeah, they made the right move trading him. Um, but he's one of the best sideline out of bounds players in the league. He's earned some amazing nicknames out of that as well. But I could see him being a point guard on a winning team, but the roster around him can't be what the Bulls have as a roster right
Yeah.
now.
I'll give them some benefit just because they got a new front office. And like
Yeah,
people were saying that about the Wizards and look at our front office. They've done a good job. So I mean maybe
yeah.
they do well. So I won't
I
like completely rule them out, but
I do like
having
the fit. I love the fit of Giddy and Caleb Wilson. I think that is a phenomenal
oh
fit
yeah.
because
That
they're
transition
picking fourth, so that's going to be who they end up getting unless the Grizzlies take him early. Because I could see the Grizzlies taking Caleb instead of Boozer,
I
but
think they're
I
good
really like
Boozer to be honest. They're so like analytics driven that it makes
yeah
sense to go Boozer.
yeah. But I really like Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer. I really like either one of them next to Giddy. And like I said, I think Buzelis has a really high ceiling. He's just so ridiculously thin that he can't do anything until he
Yeah.
puts on like a ton of muscle.
That transition offense though, like Giddy passing to Matos or
Yeah, you
Caleb,
got
Trey.
You got Buzelis and Wilson running the floor with Giddy throwing the ball up. They need an elite shooting guard, like an elite 3-and-D shooting guard, like I don't know, Kevin Herter or somebody. Um, or like, and they need a center. But other than that, like I like,
Patrick Williams.
yeah, sure. He'll be. I don't know what's up with Patrick Williams. I don't
He
know.
just sucks. Like there's not much
Wasn't he the fourth overall pick too?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
that's
drafted
awesome.
him. Did they? No, that wasn't the Scotty draft.
I think that was the 2020 draft, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah,
So they Denny was supposed to go.
they took I remember Denny was projected really high. I remember thinking Denny was going to be really good and then being like really disappointed until this year, and I was like a
Yeah.
little vindicated, but also at the same time like I don't really care for Denny as much anymore, so it's like
I
oh
don't.
well.
We also don't get the first pick if he's still on the team.
No, so
So
it's
like
like oh
I
well.
really don't care that he's gone, to be honest. Like
No,
if anything, I hope that
it
the
reset
only
the
thing I would
timeline.
change is that we got a different package for him. Or maybe waited like till the deadline and got more, but like overall I really don't care that he's gone.
Yeah. We could have gotten more out of him, but also like trading him when we did reset the timeline. It took us from like our best player being just outside their prime to our best player is now 19. So like
Yeah.
I get it. I even in hindsight I'm like yeah, I understand it. I think they probably make that trade again.
Well they
Honestly,
definitely
even knowing what they know now. Um Absolutely knowing that they get the first overall pick now.
yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, I think we could have gotten more, but I'm fine with it because
Yeah, it's
If Bub figures it out, like I said, if Bub's able to figure out how to get into the paint either by bulking up or just learning how to leverage his handle and his height a little bit better, like then he becomes a high end point guard just right then. And at that point, you're like, well, at that point, the trade's almost even.
it's almost a mental thing for Bub too. Like I don't think you can be a 6'5" point guard and good shooter and not get in the paint without like there being some mental thing involved.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like how he grew up playing.
Yeah, I mean I think he physically could get into the paint.
Yeah,
I remember sometime in the preseason they said on the broadcast that he was like 90 pounds entering high school. So he probably physically like could not have got into the paint or
yeah,
like got past a defender at that size. So he grew up shooting and it makes sense why he's such a good shooter.
yeah,
It has to just be like mental from like not
yeah,
growing up being able to get into the paint.
yeah. I think that could be accurate, and I think Trey Young is probably one of the best
For sure.
one of the best mentors in the league because like Trey Young doesn't rely on athleticism or strength to get to the paint. He relies on or even size. He relies on just pure skill and determination, I guess. So like that's a really good mentor for Bub, who is also a very skilled point guard. So, but has the size to really be able to leverage that. So I wonder if next year we see a little bit more like head down, get to the bucket, make something happen from there, Bub.
And I do hope that like he learns how to drive and kick more just because I think that'd be such an important part of his game.
Yeah,
I'm not too impressed with his playmaking right now, but I also think that like there is a lot of room to grow. And
yeah,
if you're able to get into the paint more, it's gonna get so much better. So like that, if he can get into the paint, he'll be an okay player. Like he'll be rotation. It's just that.
yeah. Like I think a big part of his playmaking as well is one. I don't think he ever played point guard growing up. I think he was almost exclusively a shooting guard. So I think I think there's a big learning curve there because that's one of the more difficult positions to learn in the NBA. Really, it's point guard and center are pretty easily the two most difficult positions to learn. So I'm not surprised that when he just kind of got thrown into the deep end, he struggled.
Yeah.
Um, but I think if he can learn, if he can get into the paint, I think a lot of things open up for him from there. Because I think that's really the most important thing a point guard can do is get into the paint and make things happen from there. because you can't really create a ton of offense. You can't do a ton of playmaking from the perimeter. Like obviously you can find guys cutting, but there aren't a ton of open passing lanes in the NBA because the NBA defense is just ridiculous. No matter what some people say on the
Yeah.
internet, NBA defense is still the best of the best. Um, I think, fine. I think being able to get into the paint and create from there is really what will take Bub from being he's a okay off the bench combo guard but nothing special to this guy can be either the sixth man on a team or even a starting point guard. Like I think that's really the what'll take him from where he is now to that next level. And like I said, I think Trae Young is the best player, one of the best players in the
He's
league
the best.
to teach him how to get there. And Trae Young's also very openly been like, yeah, I'm going to help him with that. Which
I love Trey. I think he's been
yeah,
such a good mentor. Like the way he's bought into the city, especially, I mean, he was like Atlanta for 7 years. He
I've
had been on deep runs and he completely buys into DC.
I've never seen a player of that caliber go to a team with the Wizards' reputation and really with the record the Wizards have, and then just day one be like, "This is my city now. I'm here. I play for this team. Play for the name on the front of the jersey." And then also at the same time, immediately take all of the young guys under his wing and teach them about teach them what he knows. Like we saw almost immediately Bub, Trey, Will Riley have massive jumps at the end of the season where they went from where they learned how to break down a defense. And I wonder
Especially,
how much of that was Trey Young just being like, "Hey, this is what to look for."
and Below and Trey were getting like very good looks. Like I remember every
Yeah,
game that Trey Young played, it was like Below and Trey would get two open threes that they would make.
absolutely.
And then Will Riley, it seemed like every game, like almost, not even post All-Star break, post like February, around the time when Trey really, I know he got there like start of January, but probably a few weeks after he really got into DC, it seemed like every single game Will Riley was better at knowing how to get past a defender and knowing how to manipulate defenses.
Yeah, and like another kind of building on that, like I remember watching Jeremy Lin broke down like Luka Doncic his go-to ISO move, right, which is the I think it's the left to right tween cross as he starts almost every possession off like that. I remember watching him break that down. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that in like a round to pick up basketball. And like I did that, and I played like hands down the best basketball of my life. Just like trying to replicate what Jeremy Lin pointed out Luka Doncic does on a nightly basis. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, is at that point where I'm like, okay, like somebody like Trey could probably easily teach these guys how to figure that out, how to figure out defense. And obviously, I'm not playing defenses at the level of the NBA. I'm playing like YMCA guys in Iowa. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even LA fitness level defense. But so like obviously it's not the same. But like these guys are NBA players and learning from one of the best in the league at their biggest weakness. Like that's gonna show itself. And I feel like that's just how like that's just how like my brain immediately attached. I was like, oh, I feel like that's exactly what Bub, Trey, Will Riley, Keyshawn to a certain extent, Bilal Koulibaly potentially, like those guys are all gonna like figure out how to attack off the dribble potentially, or even shoot, like because they've got an elite teacher right freaking there.
Oh yeah, Trey's by far like the most talented player probably any of them have ever played with. The
Yeah,
smartest player any of them have ever played
yeah.
with.
With the exception of Anthony Davis, I think that applies to the entire roster.
But
Just
yeah,
about.
true, AD. But I mean, AD's such like you're gonna learn much from a center. I'm not trying to hate on
I
AD, but like,
I
I
could
think
I could see
Trey's talent and
I
what
could
Trey knows how to do fits a lot better to most of the young
yeah.
guys compared to them. I mean, Sarr is gonna learn so much from AD.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, I really want to see like Anthony Davis like teach Sar how to be more physical and more assertive in the paint, especially getting rebounds. because that's really the big thing with Sar, that and just not having the strength to really do it. But I think I would really like to see Anthony Davis pass that on to Alex Sar.
I mean, he's already improved at that so much.
Yeah,
Just within a year. I remember rookie year, people were like, "Oh, I don't know if he'll ever be a good player. I don't know if he'll ever even stick
I
in the
mean,
league
like,
too much because he can't, like, he's just not big enough and he doesn't play like a center."
yeah,
Now this year, he's barely shooting threes, getting inside. Get another couple years of
I
that, learn
think
under AD, bulk up. Like, that's like an all-star.
yeah, he did start taking threes more after the trade deadline. I think they were trying to like set up Sar to be ready to play with Anthony Davis. Um, like and like the 5 games he played after the
Yeah.
break. But his 3 point percentage like plummeted when he started taking more threes. So I think like Sar his real potential is as like like if he can figure out how to be a bully ball center and then have the ability to stretch out that three. I think that's where his ceiling lies. He just needs to put on the strength, get to like that Jalen Duren build if he can get
I don't
there.
know if he'll ever. Yeah, I don't think that's possible, to be honest. That
Jalen
would,
Duren's ridiculous, but
oh, yeah.
like if Sar is able to put on muscle like that, then that's where, and then have that 3 point shot. I think that's really his where that would be his ceiling is as like a big a big bully ball center that can also shoot threes and then can also put the ball on the ground and shoot mid range shots and can
Yeah,
also shoot fadeaways and play make.
just be a star.
Yeah, just be elite at everything.
Yeah. And I mean, by the time, like, either AJ or Darren, by the time they're like 23, like, let's say that's the time we're really ready to compete for a
Yeah.
championship, since there'll
Well,
be our one.
I think
That's
we'll be ready to compete even earlier than that. We've got a ridiculous amount of talent on the roster.
that's true, but I don't see like title contention until they like start actually, unless AJ's just like ridiculously good from the jump and
Yeah.
he's like 21, 22 and already like a 25 point per game scorer. Which, I mean, maybe that's the
Yeah.
case. It's AJ DeBonsa.
I
But even then, that's like 3, 4 years.
Yeah, I think we have the talent where we start seeing talent consolidation at the deadline, and we start seeing them kind of. And I think next off season, not this one, they'll start
Yeah.
putting. They'll be like, okay, this is where we didn't really perform super well, so let's fill those gaps in free agency. So let's say rebounding's still an issue. The second half of the season, after we move on from Anthony Davis, then that would be when they go and get a Mitchell Robinson. Or like if playmaking's still an issue, then I could see them going and getting a backup point guard. Then I don't know if, like I said earlier, like an hour ago almost, I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of are happy with the roster they have going into the season, and then just kind of figuring it like I think we'll see. I think they do make the playoffs this year, but I think that they'll start really trying to morph the roster into the real title contending group at the deadline. And then next offseason is when we'll really start seeing guys get moved, get see smaller roles, maybe see free agents come in, make trades for guys that fill in the weaknesses. I think there will still be I think there will still be weaknesses in the roster, but I think they start filling that a year from now.
Yeah, and I mean, you also like AD's not a long term piece, probably. Like, he's probably gone within 2 years. You're going to be able to get like one or two really good players for him, at least rotational guys. Who knows if Trey Young's a long term piece, but you'll also be able to get one or two rotational, like very good guys if you trade him away. Even if it's in 3, 4 years after a new extension at 33, like you'll still be able to get a good player for him. So, like, you don't even have to finish the roster building now. You're still able to add pieces, which I think is
Yeah, they've
kind of similar to like what contending teams do right now. Those are going to be the guys that are going to be able to get us those pieces that
yeah
finish the team. Like OKC getting iHeart and Caruso.
yeah. Absolutely. That's absolutely what's going to end up being like, because they have tremendous financial flexibility as well for the amount of talent they have. Because they got several young players on long term, really small contracts. We mentioned Champagne earlier as probably the best example of that. But yeah, like if Anthony Davis plays 30 games before the All Star break, one, he's going to be an All Star again, probably All NBA again, if he gets to that point. But then, two, like you can flip him for a ridiculous amount for
Yeah.
for a ridiculous haul, because then you can be like, we've got healthy Anthony Davis here. Like
Who's
Anthony
all
Davis
in
has
good shape.
played like 75% of his games. Like that's worth it to you guys, and like really push that. Especially if he plays super well. And like the Wizards have a really good track record with keeping guys healthy too.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say like we kept KP healthy for a
yeah,
season. When did
Porzingis had
KP
his
ever stay healthy?
Porzingis had one of his two healthy seasons in
Yeah.
Washington, and the other one he tore his ACL halfway through that season. So it's
Yeah, I mean,
like
you look up before with the Mavs, he was never healthy. On the Celtics, he missed pretty much the entire playoff run. Now with the Warriors, he's still missing a lot of time.
yeah,
Like they
even
were
in their
the one team that
championship,
was able to get him
even in
healthy.
that championship run, he missed a lot. He missed a ton of that playoff run.
Yeah,
Like I don't think he played until the finals, and then he came
he
off the
played.
bench even.
Yeah, he was like on and off in the finals too. I don't even know if
Yeah.
he played. I don't remember if he played every game then.
I'll be completely honest, but yeah, he has
No,
two
I think
healthy seasons. One of
yeah,
them he made the All Star game and then tore his ACL immediately after being named an All Star, and the other one was his time with the Wizards, where I think it wasn't his career high in games played, but it was his career high in games played when playing like actual minutes and not just
he
15
played
minutes a night.
over like 60. I think it was
I think he played 67 games on the
okay.
Wizards.
If AD can play 60 games, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, and like, and at that point, that is tremendous. You're getting tremendous trade value out of him because all you need to do is prove that he can be healthy for 5 minutes.
A year ago, he got traded for Luca.
Yeah, and then he wasn't healthy, so traded for literally nothing. I think it's weird because like you can trace directly you can directly trace the Bradley Beal trade and the Kyle Kuzma trade directly to Anthony Davis and Trae Young, and then also like Will Riley was involved in that. Actually, he might have been in the Porzingis trade. Like it's
Yeah, no, he
yeah,
was.
because we got that pick from we got that pick from trading Marvin Bagley. No, that was Keyshawn George. Will Riley was Will Riley was part.
Keyshawn was the Gafford trade, I thought.
Yeah, and Gafford was part of. Gafford was its own trade, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he might have.
By the way, like
Was he? No, was he a Tomas Satoransky trade?
it might have been, yeah, because I think we traded
Yeah,
Satoransky for Gafford, and
that's
then we
insane.
traded Gafford for I think two first, didn't we, or something like that? One first maybe.
It was some. I feel like
Something weird. And then we traded Porzingis for Bagley, Smart, not Smart. We traded Porzingis for Bagley and a couple picks, and then Bagley for Smart and the pick that became Keyshawn George, and then let Smart walk in free agency because we couldn't find a trade partner because he was making $20 million a year.
and then the Beal one is easy to trace. So it was
Yeah,
like
that
Chris Paul,
Bill's
Poole,
straightforward. Kuzma's straightforward too because Kuzma was AJ Johnson and Chris Middleton, who he then just flipped straight up for Anthony Davis, and then threw Marvin Bagley in there as well.
and the one first from the Beal trade or the
Yeah,
Chris Paul
yeah.
trades. Dawkins is so good.
That is. I mentioned the other day that Will Dawkins is phenomenal at building on the margins. That is specifically what I was referring to. It's just those three you can trace directly to the core we have now, with the exception of Sar, Trey Johnson, and whoever our rookie's going to be, and Bilal. Those are the only guys who aren't directly from those three trades.
And Bilal was like 3 weeks after he got hired.
Yeah, and Bilal still has a really high ceiling. I don't think he'll reach it. But I do think he'll figure out that 3 point shot, and then he's got a good enough mid range and a good enough. He's fine at the basket. Not good, not bad, not terrible. He's one of the worst for his height, but I digress.
I'm pretty sure this because I think we traded 2 seconds in that Bilal draft, like in the future. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty.
I
I
think
think one of them translated to Jameer or Vucevic.
maybe because I know we traded up for Bilal.
Yeah, but we also had like 2 seconds later, and we
That
traded them.
might we might have traded those for those guys. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it's
It's
just asset
I th-
management he's great at
yeah.
too.
I think both of those draft picks. One of them we traded down for Vuk. I think it was all part of the bigger Bradley Beal trade because I know we drafted like Trace Jackson Davis, which I don't even know what's happened to him at this point.
I think
I,
we like gave up. He's on the Raptors now.
he was on the Warriors last I knew, because we traded him to Golden State for as part of the Chris Paul trade.
It's either Toronto or Chicago. He got moved at the deadline.
Did he get moved? Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, he was really good his rookie year for being that late in the draft, and then he just kind of disappeared. So I don't
I don't
know.
even know if we like traded the pick straight up. I think we almost like traded the cash for the pick. Or we
Because
got cash.
him and Ryan, that pick and Ryan Rollins were like kind of throw-ins, like super late.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say
and then
on the
Patrick
margin,
Baldwin Jr. too.
I wish we had kept Rollins or Jay Huff or guys like that. Like on the margins, I don't think he's been perfect. But I mean overall, like Dawkins has been amazing. I think his talent is really like he's so good at like managing assets and
Yeah,
like getting more picks than
we've
what's supposed to
we've
be.
definitely had this conversation before, but I think Dawkins, the reason why Rollins was waived wasn't
Oh
necessary was
yeah.
because they were trying to prioritize character, and when you're like, didn't he steal from like multiple targets in the area too?
Yeah, it was like Fairfax.
Yeah, it's like if you're stealing from Target as an NBA player, like
It was like deodorant.
yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. Like I think he was trying to prioritize like integrity and character. So like I
Yeah, I
think
mean I
that's
understand it. I can't
yeah.
really like be mad at it.
And then Jay Huff, he never watched Jay Huff play. I don't think unless it was like his first year as GM, and then Jay Huff barely played.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not upset about Jay Huff either. Again, like you said, he hasn't been phenomenal. He hasn't been perfect, but
But no
I'm
gem.
not upset about the ones that he got wrong, because like the ones he got wrong, it took a while for them to really show up elsewhere. So
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it.
And who knows if they get that opportunity here.
But anyway, I think I'm going to leave it off there. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. I will say rest in peace to Brandon Clark, who tragically passed away recently. It was announced that earlier today as a recording. But thank you for joining the Lo and Behold podcast. Thank you, Ethan, for joining. Don't forget to drop a like and follow. Same, and also go follow WizardsMuse. And we'll catch you next time. Thank you.